Welcome to my creative carnivore kitchen. This is another video from my other channel, Aline's Adventures, all about my nomad life. And this one here is the second part of Carnivore in Nordthailand, Rim, about meat and eggs. Have fun. As a carnivore, you are in heaven in Rim, Thailand. I was so lucky and I spent 3 months there. From March 4th, 2025 until May 31st, 2025. So I got to try a lot of foods there. The first part, carnivore in Nordthailand here. All about seafood and some other stuff. I have to say it again here. When I walked into the macro cash and carry store in Rim, Thailand, I said, I'm in heaven. It was amazing, all the selection for the carnivores. Let's start with the pork. Almost every part from the pork gets sold. Like the pig's face, the stomach, the uterus, the tail, feet, distal intestines, small intestines, diaphragm, liver, tongue, chin, and of course also more regular cuts like chops, shoulder, and ribs. Almost every part of the animal gets sold there. I love that. That's how it should be. But of course, I get it. A store can't just sell all the parts from an animal, like all the pork parts, and people just don't buy it. Then they're not gonna sell it. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So I get it. But really, that's how it should be. Like all the parts of an animal should get sold at the store, and people then also should buy it. What I also love about that store is you can just put on gloves or take tongs or both, and then you can take out whatever you want and just put it in a bag and give it to the person there behind the scale, and then they weigh it out and put the tag on it. So I love it because so you can really go through the stuff and I don't want this piece, I don't want that, or with the tongs or the gloves. It's I love that. Unfortunately, the open ground pork wasn't that tasty. I think it was because it was really lean, because all the rest of the pork that was like openly there to to pick and choose, it was delicious. Just the ground pork, not really, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't that good. So apart from the regular chicken cuts, they also have boneless feet. I've never seen that before, really cool. They also had chicken blood, skin, joints, and my absolute favorite, a bin full of Bürzus. Bürzus, Swiss German, it's the tail. It's a chicken tail. I think you also call it bishop's nose or something like that, what I think is fucking stupid. It's a Bürzu, that's what it is. My favorite part of the chicken. And there, I didn't do it, but there I could have just bought a bag full of Bürzus. My favorite part, so cool. The fresh beef selection wasn't as big as the pork selection or the chicken selection. And so far in entire Asia, beef was never that tasty. Pork was always so much better. Pork was usually always very delicious. But beef, and mostly I think it's actually also water buffalo. Even it says beef, I'm not sure, but I read it could also be water buffalo. It's also very lean, like the ground beef is usually very lean, and it has lots of like silver skin in it. And what is a big difference, they don't age the meat. So if you don't age beef, it doesn't get as tasty. I'm sure they also have different beef breeds, cow breeds. And yeah, if you age the beef, it also gets less tough. So that is a very important part. That's why, like the United States, they age the beef, so it's not as tough anymore. And as I mentioned, the open ground beef didn't really taste very well, and because it was really lean. But it also tasted really differently to what I've had so far before on ground beef. So I was pretty convinced it's probably water buffalo. But they had 3 of the 4 different cow stomachs, the tribe. I love that, so cool. I mean, they had the regular blanket tribe, then the honeycomb tribe. You find that also quite often, but not as often as the blanket tribe. And they had the omasum tribe, the leaf tribe. I love so much, so cool. And well, the 4th one, there are 4 usually in a cow. I think I read there could also be 5, but usually there are 4. And I've never ever seen the 4th one being sold. So I don't think it even gets sold. Maybe you can't eat it, or it's not very well. You can eat everything if you want to, but maybe it's not really tasty, or I don't know. But anyways, those 3 different tribes were there. I love that. But there is a big beef selection available with just pre-packaged beef, so not open, so it's already pre-packaged, and also frozen beef. Like in the frozen section, they had many different kinds, also Angus, also Wagyu even, but of course, everything much more expensive. And also the not frozen ones, I saw they had different cows, also different breeds. I read it, I don't remember, but yeah, but it was more expensive. Yeah, Paul once bought a side of ribeye, an Australian ribeye. Yes, it wasn't frozen. It was like, it was packaged up, repackaged, but not frozen. And it was so delicious. It wasn't super expensive, but it was more expensive than just the regular beef, the open beef there. Yeah, Australian ribeye, but it was really good. And it tasted like, I didn't know, I don't know, but it tasted like it was grass-fed, grass-finished. It had that certain taste. It was pretty lean, but still very delicious. Usually, I feel like when I say something is lean, then it's not delicious anymore because fat is a delicious thing. But no, something can be lean and very delicious, like that ribeye. But like the taste was like a grass-fed taste. Yeah, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Oh, and once in a while, we bought the frozen ground beef Australian Angus. Ooh, that one was so good. It wasn't that expensive, but of course, it was more expensive than the open ground beef they had, but that one was really not that tasty. So the Australian Angus ground beef, frozen, oh, super tasty. In the freezer section, you can find different duck, goat, and lamb parts. So frozen meats, they have really a big variety. And also some specialities like alligator, deer, black chicken, very tasty. Yeah, black-boned chickens are traditional and indigenous to northern Thailand. They super yummy. They taste different. Yeah, I think Paul always says the fat or the protein is different. It's like, yeah, a different fat, a little bit of a different taste. It's still a chicken, but it was very tasty. I also found frozen silkworms, also something traditional in Thailand. If you want to know more about traditional foods in Thailand and if I like the silkworms or not, because of course I bought them and I tried them, here is the video about traditional foods in North Thailand. So fucking cool. They had what I call, and make myself usually, chicken flour and also pork. So, oh my gosh, that is so cool. Now I don't have to make my own anymore, right? While I'm there. But I read the ingredients and no, none of them were clean. All of them had sugar and even other stuff in it. I thought it was so sad because when I was still living in Reno, I had, oh, what did I have? Chicken flour, beef flour, eggshell flour, shrimp flour. Yeah, and so I made them all by myself because, yeah, you can't just find them anywhere. So I thought that is so cool that there they have it, but they're not clean. So, so sad. Yeah, why? It's so sad. I wish you could just buy whatever, yeah, chicken, pork, beef, egg, whatever flour, like you buy a bag of flour, you know, because I really miss having those. Those were great. You can make so much great stuff out of it. I mean, of course, it's not like real flour because it's not flour. It's just dehydrated, grinded up chicken or pork or whatever. I found century eggs, traditional Chinese, yes. Since I've heard about century eggs, I wanted to try them. So Paul said he doesn't like century eggs at all. It's a very acquired taste. But I so wanted to try it. So the smallest package they had at Makro was a 6-pack. So I had to buy 6 eggs. And I was so worried that I would just try a bite from one and then I would have to throw away all the others. But I had to try it. Okay, century egg. First time I'm trying this. They make them red so you can distinguish them from other eggs. So, and when I peeled it, you can see there's like jello in here. So this top part, it's like a ball. It's like a rubber ball. How do you call those? Those bouncy balls. Bouncy balls. It's like a bouncy ball. I kind of want to. But so, okay, let's just try some of that jelly in there. I'm so scared. Paul doesn't like it. And it really smells sulfury, very. And I'm very sensitive of smells, but in a way I like the sulfur smell. Wow, sulfury, eggy. But okay, I'm gonna try to bite. You see, it's really like a bouncy ball. I'm trying to find the yolk. So I'm gonna bite. So I got some from the top. That is really, it's just jello. It's like eggy, sulfury jello. And I'm gonna try to bite from here. The yolk. Fucking A. I love it! Paul said, we were already prepared to throw away the rest. I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh. This is, okay, blah, blah. It's better down here than up there. When you mix it, oh, it's so good. It's not really, somehow I expected salt, not really. It's really good. I love it. I quickly figured out it's much easier to peel the century eggs when they're cold. So the first time when I tried them, I just tried them, I think, right after we bought them. So they didn't store them in the fridge, so they were room temperature. But then after that, I stored them in the fridge, and I actually prefer eating them cold out of the fridge much better than at room temperature, unless I mix it into other dishes with other foods and stuff. But so they're really so much easier to peel when they come out right from the fridge and they're still cold. Super easy to peel then. Otherwise, it can be very tricky. At Macro, they also have just regular chicken eggs, regular duck eggs, quail eggs, and salted duck eggs. The salted duck eggs I had before already in the Philippines. Here is a video about traditional foods in the Philippines. But I've never had just regular duck eggs before. So I was actually excited to try just regular duck eggs. Okay, a duck egg, I boiled it for like 6 minutes, and look at the yolk is all here. This already fell off, so it's not all the way done. That's how I wanted it. So I think I'm just gonna bite into it. I need some salt. Perfect. How I wanted it. I love it when the egg white is cooked and the yolk is still raw. You see, the egg white is kind of like jello-y, gelatin-y. It's a bit different than, I can't describe it, but it's different. Even the egg white is different than regular chicken egg, I feel. People say it's richer. The yolk is richer, and usually I think the yolk is also bigger maybe, but I don't know, not necessarily richer. It's good, it's really good, but not like super special. Honestly, in a blind test, I don't know if I would figure it out. There is this expensive store in Mae Rim, Thailand, Rimping. There you can find all kinds of good but expensive stuff. They have brands from all over the world. Warning, non-carnivore pictures will follow. May trigger unwanted stuff. For example, they have Swiss brands like Cambly, USA brands like Jif, Smuckers and Hershey's, or Japanese brands, Korean, Scottish, and many, many more. They have nice pieces of beef in a dry ager. Ooh, yeah, but expensive, of course. They had beef from Thailand, Japan, the USA, Australia, New Zealand, and lamb that's not frozen, because at Makro, you only got lamb frozen. So, I mean, they had really good stuff, but as I mentioned, expensive. But I had to laugh. So they had little packages of ground beef in it. There was a little bit more than 100 grams in it. What the fuck do you want to do with this little piece of ground meat? You can't even make a decent burger out of it. They also had beautiful seafood there, but everything really expensive. Paul bought quite some stuff there that he really liked. I only bought very few things there. And one of the things I bought there regularly, I was so overjoyed, raw goat's milk. Finally, I could make kefir and fili again. I didn't have that since we left Turkey. We were in Turkey, in Fethiye. We left Fethiye in June 2024. So I was so overjoyed, so cool. I thought I wouldn't be able to find any raw milk in all over Asia because I thought they're not really into dairy. So I was super surprised, and the milk was so fucking amazing. So happy here in Mae Rim, Thailand, I find raw goat's milk. Super cool. So here I can make my kefir, even get it nice and thick, or not so thick. And here I'm also starting to make fili yogurt. Oh, look, it's working. Nice. Still needs a bit more time, but it's starting. Feely, super funny. So look, as you can see, it works totally well. I've been doing that for 3 months now, and do you see? It works totally well. But I want to show you somewhere. Let me find it. Here, do you see this? This is the dried Feely I took with me from Reno, and so I started the Feely with this. And it's still dried after 3 months. So it can't be totally dead because, as I just showed you, it works. It makes Feely. But that one just stays like that. I thought it's so funny, but it still works. Look at that nice kefir. And it's so delicious. Raw goat's milk kefir. Homemade chicharron. Homemade raw goat milk kefir. This is dope. In my luggage, I have dried kefir and dried Feely hidden somewhere in different places. So wherever I can and I find raw either goat's or sheep's milk, I make my own kefir and Feely. And I actually also started to drink it just the raw milk without fermenting it. And also that, oh my gosh, so delicious, I'm telling you. Usually they were 400 milliliter packages, but sometimes they were 900 milliliter ones at the Rimping store. I think, but I'm not sure at all. They sell the big ones on the weekends. So I usually bought we bought either one of the big packages or sometimes 3 or even 4 of the little ones together. I love getting infos from especially locals, but also anyone else about food in different countries. So if you have any suggestions or infos about foods from Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Indonesia, South Korea, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, anywhere in South and Central America, please tell me those infos, let me know, put them in the comments. Thank you very much. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay curious.